Here we go, boys and girls. It is Phonics, ELA, English Language Arts. Today, we're going to start off with your handbook. So get it out, push pause if you need to, or if you need to follow along with me, you can do that as well. We're going to review chart 13. Got to get those sounds in our brain. The first one is full in beautiful. Air in care. Ton in mountain. In pure. Be my echo. Chur in pasture. War in warm. Shun in nation. Shun in missionary. Jeune in television. A in 8. In sailor. In dollar. Remember, they're spelled differently. I in crystal. And air in cherry. Got to be careful with these because some of them, like I in crystal, well, we also have E in baby, but they sound two different ways. E in baby, which is not on this list, is Y, but that comes at the end of words. I in crystal, we'll talk about that in a few weeks. It comes in the middle. So pay attention when you're looking at these charts and sounding out those words. All right. You can also be just picking out other words, other charts in your book to do as review. Pull out your comprehension check. It's important, we haven't been doing a ton of these, so it's really important that you pay attention and you focus on this one. Go get you some goldfish if you want some goldfish, because we're going to be talking about fish in this comprehension check. Remember, what do we always do at the beginning when we get a comprehension check? We put our name and then we read it 3 times.
You have 3 stars. You got to read it 3 times.
3 times, okay? And that's not just because...
Go read it on your trampoline.
It's a good idea.
Go jump and read it.
It's because
read
it's going to help
your
you.
Neighbor. Read it to your friend. Read it in your head. Read it out loud.
Whatever.
3 times.
All right, so I'm going to read it once, and then you can read it the other 2 times. Greg has a goldfish named Goldie. Goldie seems a little glum. She swims very slowly around her bowl, and her tail is down. Greg wonders what could be wrong with Goldie. At first, he gives her some fish food, but she doesn't eat. She watches the fish flakes drop to the bottom of the bowl. Well, next, Greg buys Goldie a new aquarium castle. Goldie looks at the castle and swims away. Greg looks closer at Goldie's bowl. He notices that it is very dirty. Is your room dirty? Greg scrubs and cleans Goldie's fish bowl. Now she is happy. Okay, so you go back and read it a couple of times. And then start by reading your questions. We got to figure out some answers. How does Greg know that Goldie is glum? There were some clues in here that Greg noticed. So you're going to restate the question. Greg knows that Goldie is glum because, and then state the reason. Greg knows that Goldie is glum because, remember these lines are tiny? So you need to be careful. Use your strength to write small. But if you run out of room, we just turn it over to the back. Okay? What is the first thing Greg does for Goldie? Clue word first. Let's see. At first, go find the words at first over here. Pay attention. And then restate the question. Number 3. And if you need to push pause, you can, or just go back at the end and do these together. What is the second thing Greg does for Goldie? The second thing Greg does for Goldie is, and put your answer. Number 4, what makes Goldie happy again? Well, to restate this question, you could say, Goldie becomes happy after Greg, and fill in what makes her happy. And then number 5, you're going to highlight, or take your marker or your color crayon and highlight and write 3 adjectives from the story. Oh, I'm glad they talked about adjectives. You know I like adjectives. What is the job of an adjective? My class maybe said, it paints a picture. Miss Branda's class probably said, it describes a noun. And you both are correct. Adjectives make our writing interesting. Instead of just saying, Goldie was a fish, you could say, Goldie was a glum fish, or Goldie's face was very glum. It paints a picture. Instead of just saying, I had a banana, or a bunch of bananas, you could say, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow and brown bananas. Those are adjectives. They describe nouns. What's a noun again? That seems kind of important.
Noun is a
person, place, thing, or animal. You know, I always have to add that. So that's our comprehension check. Pay attention when you write those sentences. What does a sentence always have to have? At the beginning, it has to have a capital letter. Put a cap on it. And at the end, it has to have punctuation. Question mark, period, exclamation mark. You figure out what works best. Today, you should have this in your packet as well. It's our spelling list for next week. You don't have to do a whole lot with it today, but just keep in mind these are the lists. This is the list for next week. It's ch in patch. This week we've been doing CH words. Next week we do TCH words. So those can get a little confusing, and sometimes, boys and girls, you just have to memorize the word. So get with it, have a good day, and finish up your phonics.